Title: Want to YEET past me over a double yellow line? Enjoy your ticket. The community I live in has a speed limit of 25 miles per hour. It also has a connecting street to another development which leads to a main road, so people tend to cut through my neighborhood to get there. Many drivers enjoy speeding through the streets rather than following the speed limit. The local police department therefore decided to start implementing surprise speed traps right by the main entrance. I have never been stopped by one, as I like to drive safely and not get tickets that I can't afford, but I often tend to end up in front of drivers who like to drive recklessly and get angry when those in front of them don't do the same. Our story begins when my car's cruise control button finally got fixed. I had long been waiting for this, because then I could finally enact Operation R, Petty Revenge. There's a gentleman who regularly cuts through my neighborhood who owns a Dodge Challenger. For those who don't know, Challengers can get loud. Consequently, this fellow enjoys revving the engine every 100 yards or so to inform everyone nearby that this is a Dodge Challenger and its driver likely has a less than average size endowment. This morning, I found myself pulling out of my driveway right as the Challenger turned the corner and approached. And you bet your ass I booped that cruise control button and meandered at a comfortably legal 25 miles per hour the entire ride through my neighborhood. And the driver behind me was pissed. Revving that engine, riding my bumper, the works. I was loving it. The pièce de résistance was when we turned onto the street right before the main entrance. Sure enough, a police car was there. Now, normally, the police puts a car there without an officer inside just to spook drivers into slowing down, but today the universe was on my side. In his haste to pass me and continue on his merry way, the driver of the Challenger apparently didn't notice the upcoming police car, because he revved the engine one more time, scooted past me on a squeal of tires, and across a double yellow line, might I add, and for good measure, screeched a cordial, "Fuck you," to me out his open passenger window. The police car, that glorious, glorious police car, flipped on its lights and whipped out onto the street, and pulled that moron over. I haven't laughed that hard in years. Edit 1, formatting. Edit 3, holy shit, greater than 2K upvotes, 12 awards, and nearly 150 comments in 5 hours. Wow. Glad you're all enjoying this lovely story. Title: Bully me for 21 years, enjoy never getting your post again, so my 21 oldest brother, 24, has bullied me since birth. We do not get along in the slightest, but recently he's been spreading lies about me to family members and now it's affecting our mom too. Brother has no relationship with either of us, but has a very bad relationship with the law involving drug offenses, numerous driving bans, etc., etc. He has never once learned his lesson despite becoming homeless and jobless for a couple years. He finally gets his own place and seemingly pulls his life together a bit, gets a job, his license back and so on, and then drives and loses it again. Now he only ever comes to see mum for money, we don't have a lot of it, and he never repays what he owes her. Now for various reasons we don't know about, he won't use his address for anything, probably fear of the law knowing where he is, so sends all his packages to our place. Well, recently I've started just sending them back, saying he's not known at this address and popping them back to the sender. For whatever reason he hasn't caught on to this and continues to send packages to our house. Title: Parking Revenge. So a little backstory before I get the actual revenge story. I live in a really small and tight street with super limited parking spots, but it is like an unwritten rule that every parks in front of their place, not someone else's. Recently this douchebag moved in across the street and he has 4 cars. 3 that just sit around and 1 that he drives daily, and he has those junkers parked all over taking other people's spots, causing problems. I have on a few occasions left a small note on his car asking him politely to please not park in my spot, and still he keeps doing it, and it really pisses me off because when he does take my spot I have to park a few streets over and walk for about 5 minutes to get home. Not far, I know, just annoying, because I don't take other people's spots. So on to the actual story. If you are still with me, 3 days ago overnight we had a massive snowfall. It was up to my knees and I am 6'4". I wake up and need to go to the store to buy groceries, so I get a shovel and spend about 30 minutes digging my car out of the parking spot, and I shovel all the snow out of the spot so it's easy for me to get back in my spot with my groceries when I get back. While I am doing that, the douchebag comes out and leaves, and he looks at me while I am shoveling snow. We even make eye contact, so he clearly saw me clearing snow out of my spot. So I go to the store and return some 20 minutes later, and what do I see? The FKN douche has stolen my spot. The parking spot that he saw me spend 30 minutes clearing. I instantly get raging mad. And I honk my horn outside his house to try get him to move his car. That doesn't work. Altuffatot, I saw his curtains move when I honked. So I calm myself down and get out, walk up to his door and knock to see if I can get him to move his car. He doesn't come to the door, but I can clearly hear him inside. Absolutely furious, I storm back to my car and park in the next street over and carry my groceries, trough knee-deep snow, and just as I get to my door I see him peek trough his curtains across the street. I go inside and plot my revenge. I waited until it was about 1 a.m. to be sure he was asleep, keeping an eye out the entire day to see if he moves his car, which he didn't. So I go out with my shovel and I shovel all the snow I could find in a massive radius around his car and pack it tight under his car and around it and a massive pile on top of it. Took me about 2 to 3 hours. You could not see his car anymore, and I was 100% sure he couldn't drive out of the pile. I packed it super tight. I go to bed feeling happy with a job well done. The next morning I wake up to a loud knocking on my door, so I get out of bed and go to the door. There he is, furious that his car is in a snow pile and he is going to be late for work, and tells me to get my ass outside and dig his car out of the pile. I calmly walk outside, look at the pile and say, "Oh, must have snowed again last night. Unlucky that your car is parked exactly where it all came down," and give him a little smirk to go with the joke, walk back inside and close my door, and I can hear him outside for the next hour or so trying to get GIS car out of the pile. Title: Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Well, let's start off. I'm an Indian. This morning I got a message on my FB from a guy from US. No hi, hello. He straight up asked me to send Bob and Vagana. I ignored him. He did this 4 to 5 times. I asked why he was doing this. He repeated, Bob and Vagana. When I didn't reply he said, "Dumb motherfucker, can't you read?" I was understandably mad. I thought, he wants Bob's and Vagana, he'll get it. I searched the internet for the hottest nude I could find. I then got a photo of his mom from his FB photos and got my friend to Photoshop her head to the nude. I then sent the photo to him with the caption, "Here's your Bob and Vagana. Enjoy." I also took a screenshot of our conversation prior to the photo and sent it to his mom, friends, etc. I then got a message from him saying how everyone is calling him to reprimand him, how I'm an asshole. Edit: for anyone confused, Bob and Vagana comes from a viral screenshot of an Indian man asking a white woman for nudes. It's now in stereotype of Indian men on internet. Title: Do not mess with my cats. Mobile. This happened a while ago, but something just reminded me. Years ago, I was fostering kittens who had coccidea. For scale, I caught coccidea off them and lost 8 kilograms in a week, so for little baby kittens it can be deadly. There's medications and stuff that you can give them. Thankfully my kittens were on the mend. My housemate at the time was very attached to one of the kittens. After she stole my car and left me stranded in the rain, meaning I had to walk home half an hour in the cold and wet, I lost my shit and told her to leave. This was after many other incidents such as not paying rent, sleeping through things regularly, breaking my dashcam so I wouldn't know she was driving drunk, and mixing her meds with alcohol before driving my car. She also had guests over to drink regularly and went through my stuff while I was at work. Not a nice person. So she left, and took the kitten. Not okay. The kittens are under my rescue and it looks really bad if suddenly they die or she accuses me of giving her a sick kitten. I play nice for a few days. Message her boyfriend and gently tell him that legally I have to microchip the kittens, so I'll do it for her for free, so I don't get a big fine. I'll also give them the medication, so she doesn't get sick. He brings the kitten back, I microchip little one into my name and message her to fuck off. Do not mess with the crazy cat lady.